Greetings and welcome to the Matrix Unlocked presentation number 8. Now this episode is upon request of explaining about Agenda 21. I'll come on to that in a little while. Particularly in the truth-seeking side, it is very easy to not go the full distance and ask all the questions that are needed. It's all very well, for example, to think of the swastika as a symbol that has been corrupted, but it is not sufficient to say, oh, it's an old symbol. We need to question beyond that, and is its intentions originally good or bad? We mustn't take anything for granted, and I'll explain why. We'll break the word down into its constituent parts. As I've said before, letters are hieroglyphs. So, G, representation of Earth, Gaia, and it's tied down because it's three-dimensional. Ra, so the Earth energy of N, which is Lord. So this is your good side energy. It's going, remember, it always goes to the right. Or it can run both ways, but in this particular case you can see the way it goes. It ends with T, which is Satan. So when you grant something, it then becomes the past tense. Notice the word tense because it's putting attention on you, on your soul, on your energy. And there's your energy, which is represented by the E, and D is deity, deceit, deception, death, dead. So, granted is a series of hieroglyphs. So the earth and your light energy, your sun god aspect, you're giving to Satan, and your energy is then dead. So you mustn't take anything for granted. Because you consent, you've been sent a trick which you agree to. And look at the word agree. It's A, so it's all, earth, ray again, and energy. Now, when others go along with this deception, it's agreed. Because it's got a D on the end, so it's dead energy. Because you're consenting to this and you're going along with it. Now I'll come on to Agenda 21, what that represents. So you have the A, the all, G for Earth, so all Earth energy, N for Lord again, and it's all dead, death to all. Now the 21, what does that symbolise in Agenda 21? Well, if you think of the 9/11, the Twin Towers, which was in plain sight, that's why they put CGI images of aircraft, because they're telling you it's in plain sight. Oh, look at those planes that have hit the buildings. And you're telling me that terrorists who have only the experience and not very good experiences of flying light aircraft can suddenly jump into a Boeing jet, what is it, a 737, and suddenly be able to fly this and do a 50-mile U-turn in a very congested airspace? I don't think so. So the 21, there's your two towers, two becoming one, replaced by a single tower. It's the Masonic equilibrium, two becoming one, creating a transgender. The 2030, well, that's a reference not only to the year, but discount the zeros. 2 and 3 makes 5. It's giving to Baphomet. Now, look at this word again. It can be read in another way. Age, end. When you have an intention of something, you need an agenda because you set a time limit. So it's the end of an age of something. So they're hoping to achieve something by the year 2021 and then something else by the year 2030. They are their goals. Their earth, completely, with the O, all, completely encompassing the earth in their power. And they have no power over any one of you. The trick has always been to hide your true potential. Because as I said in the last video when I revealed who the Anunnaki are, it is you. In the story about when the Anunnaki revolted against the royal family that we're basically using them as slaves to mine this gold, that's why it is revolting, because re is ray and volt is a reference to the energy, your magnetic energy, your divine feminine, because you no longer give to this middleman, because there is nothing else between you and original source. You are equal to any of these deities. This is the trick that has been played on what is known as humanity, the peepholes. Oh, these things are set to try us, aren't they, telephones? I don't really... it's been answered. We will continue. Apologies for that. That is out of my control. I've lost a train of thought. We need to get back on track, back on path. You need the logic and you need to see the spiritual side and understand also what we're up against. When it talks of the Lord and the hosts, think about what is the host and a host for what. This is again is shown in the sci-fi films, because as I said before, the FI as in like defy, a death-fi or a deity-fi, you defy something. This is sky-fi, because you're looking for aliens and things up in the sky. This is Hollywood. This is the illusion. This is what is... So everybody is looking up, whether you're looking for some saviour to come or whether you're looking to little green men in UFOs. They're all getting you to look up and not looking where you should be looking, which is within yourself, because you are all, or can be, living Christ if you unlock it. It's not about letting something in. That's the last thing you want to do. You're releasing an energy from within, inside you. So yes, this Agenda 21, and they play this just like they do with religions. You've got the World Health Organization, you've got United Nations and various other organizations, all telling little bits of half-truth. This whole Agenda 21 and 2030 follows the same pattern, same as the destruction of Tartaria. This is ongoing. Now, the world really is a stage. If you think about the term used for films, they are called blockbusters. Now, when you consider that war is raw, because it is raw flesh, it's not cooked, it's bits of dead body everywhere. It's threefold. Things come in threes, both good and bad. Wars make money for this evil control system. Secondly, it is culling numbers of peepholes, because you are peepholes, because you're only peeping through holes in the veil and seeing some bits and not seeing all of it. And you're happy to be called peepholes, people. Because they're all insulting terms on purpose, and most people just can't see this. They don't understand as a human being. That's all you need to be doing, is being. You're not then empowering it. I'll come on to this because I need to mention something else about the MA as well. But you have the financial gains from these wars. You have the culling of people. You also have the destruction of remaining evidence of the structures. So they use this theatre, this war, as an excuse. So John Levi has featured some of the buildings that you can find in Yemen, and surprise, surprise, there is a war going on in Yemen, and you'll find this repeat pattern. These wars are used as a way of destroying the buildings, the blockbusters, the stone blocks, because the evidence is too big. Unless they can come up with a fake story, Then some of these buildings, while they are still functioning, are then called follies. You'll notice you will not find photographs of these things being built. Yes, you might find scaffolding where they are doing repairs or whitewashing them, and that is what they are doing with your history, your his story. They are rewriting it because it is Jester Day, so the joke is on you. We are far more than we even realise we are, and nothing has a power over us unless we fall for a trick and we consent. Again, as I've said before, it is like a box of chocolates. You are giving a selection to elect from. That you think you have a choice. Well, you do have a choice, but you don't have a free choice. The only choice you have is what they present to you. And you stupidly take the present that they offer. You just have to not conform and consent to all this illusion that is played on us. The only debt you have, and debt is dead, and the only thing you should kill is this trick that is being played on all of us. The only debt you have is what you owe to yourself to find out and find your true self and find your true power. That is as simple as it can get. It is always dressed up, and they will always quote figures and things, and they will play multiple sides to confuse, because the answers are always simple but made to look very difficult. And once you see beyond that, it then really starts to unravel what's going on. Anyway, I cannot take and will not take credit for this, and I will not accept a reward for this, because what is a ward? It is another type of prison. Another thing I must mention about the MA, which is the Divine Feminine. In this timeline construct called 3-dimension, where everything decays with time, that is why you become mature. You'll notice that there is a maternity block in a hospital, because your MA goes towards the T, which is Satan, and then there's an urn, and your third eye is tied. That's why it is maternity block, because your head is on the block. Your spiritual self is at stake here. To live is to evil. In some ways it could be argued that to bring new life into this world is a crime, and live is evil. When you consider that we are accepting a maximum of 120 years, when quite clearly we could all be living for 1,000 years, there is absolutely no rush to even have children, because we do not want to overpopulate, but we are not overpopulating anyway. If you got rid of this illusion of nations, for example, where there are areas of the world, for example in Canada, and it would also apply to northern Russia, this so-called global warming or climate change, or whatever other ambiguous term they want to use for it, is opening up what was under the permafrost. And as been shown in Alaska, you can have a dome and you can grow fruit and vegetables in the Arctic Circle quite easily. There is no excuses. What there is lacking is the willpower and the desire to do it, and the intention to do it. There is no need for hunger anywhere in the world if we take back control and take back our power that has been stolen from us. That is what we're owed, what they have stolen from us. Thank you.